What's up, YouTube? Gonna try to do an instructional video today. I've had my side-by-side for 3 years now, and I've always wanted the turn signal that comes with it. Turn signal and a horn. It was $400. I didn't want it that bad. But the Intimidator brand is going to a different style, and because of their the products, their accessories, they've got them all reduced right now. They've got them reduced. On top of that, they had a 10% off sale, and for Christmas, I don't know if that's over with yet. On top of that, there was no shipping over $200. So the $400 turn signal was down to $360 something, and with the 10% off, they got it down to, actually it was cheaper than that because it was $347. Either way, I got it for like $280 something, where it was originally $400. So it got in about a week ago. I wanted to get right to it, but it got cold a week ago. It got down to between 10 and 15 degrees, 15 to 20 degrees. And then it snowed. You can see the last little bit of snow we had, like 5 or 6 inches, but the sun is out. As you can see, it never really got so cold, even with all of that snow. It only got down to like 35 degrees, which was surprising. So we got a good 36, 37 degrees today. So we're gonna try to get this in. So I'm gonna get a little help. I'm not the most mechanically inclined person in the world. Believe it or not, my wife is better than me. So she's gonna help. We got the products at Intimidator UTVcentral.com. Intimidator UTVcentral.com if you're looking for any Intimidator parts right now. So, okay, let me go get the products and try to get started. Okay, I've got it all out, the box, and separated, which this is the actual turn signal and the wires that goes with it. That's the horn. But I have zero idea what this actually is from the instructions that we saw. It's like a tail light. Not sure at all. We'll figure it out as we go. Okay, there are a few other instructional videos to do this, but it's frustrating because as they're telling you what to do, then they'll cut the camera and it'll already be hooked up. They didn't show you. They just told you. It's like, okay, hook this A to B, and then they'll cut the camera and it'll come back on and A and B are already hooked together. It's not very good to me. So I'm going to try to get everything recorded as we go. This shouldn't take long. It is supposed to be plug and play. Unlike some things, there's other signals you can get and hook it up to wiring and hook it up to the batteries and hook it up to this, and they might even be cheaper, but this is plug and play, where once you get everything where it goes, you just plug it up and secure it down. So our help is here. Let's get ready to get started. All right, we're going to cut the clips off of this. Which is nothing to it. Supposedly. And get our slack out of this. And you match the bottom clips to, okay, this is not a two-person job to record. Things are For one, the instructions we had was to a 23 model. I've got a 20 model. So there are several more hookups than was shown on the instructions, so we got to figure out where they go. Next, you have to take, on the instructions, they only show like 1 or 2 things you have to feed down from the steering wheel. I've got like 6, and I don't know how they wouldn't go. Then we realized we just had to lower the steering wheel. Get them on through there. And we went on and hooked up the actual 4-ways. That wasn't the easiest. Not at all, but we did get it on there and got it attached. So now we got to figure out where all the connectors go, which shouldn't be the biggest problem. We might not even need them all. We're gonna see where the connectors go, and because the horn and the 4-ways are all up here. They sent us an extra piece that I have zero idea what to do with it, but we'll see. Okay, that's the plug and play piece that's already hooked. We're about to connect that to this that we fed down through the steering wheel. Get rid of the debris. Have to unsnap that. After 3 years of riding in the mud and the atmosphere, it looks like that might be snug. So let's see if we can get it undone. So somehow one of our pins were broke. To release it, but we fooled with it. We finally got it. So just connect it for now. Should be that. Okay, again, we've been looking at the instructions for a 23 model. We've got a 21, and they definitely changed up a lot. So on the 23, the back blinkers just stay as they are, and once you hook it up, it works. But on ours, on the 21 version, that has to be replaced. So the plug and play option is back behind there. We just have to pop this out somehow. So let's figure that out. The lights come on, but they're not, it's just the light as a whole. Left side doesn't, right side doesn't. Just the whole light as a whole. So we have to replace it with the extra one they sent us. All right. Again, some of the instructions just pretty much says replace the back light. It didn't. We had to get these tips out without breaking them. We finally got them out. Then you'll need your little star screwdriver to get the star screws and disconnect that, and then you should be able to hook your other light straight up. So, is this hard? No, it's not hard. Are the instructions all here together? No, they're not. And the instructional video that we had saw, again, was to a 23 model. Completely different from a 21 model. But we're getting there. The front blinkers are working. And get the back ones to work. Before we go further, I'd like to thank Frito-Lay for these seats, these magnificent seats that they got me before retirement. I got one, and when it started to wear, they got me another one, and I got it right before I went out. These have really been convenient. So thanks, Frito. I'm probably not even gonna do this video anymore. I'm so frustrated. you have to replace the tail light with the new tail light with the blinker system in it. They don't even mention this. There's no instructions, but the tip on this thing is a solid, thick tip that won't fit in this hole. Mind you, it's just plastic on this side, but the other side, maybe you can see it, I don't know, the other side is metal. And it won't go through. There's no way to just disconnect this from this side or from this side. So we're at a standstill other than to cut it, and I don't want to cut it. And even if, to put the new one in, which is the same size, I don't know how we'll get the other one in. So I'd rather experiment on how to pull it apart on this one than to get on the other one and not have a clue. So let's do a little work. Well, after pulling and stretching and bending and cutting and trying to get this tip as thin, I just finally cut the wires. At the end of the day, if we ever need it again, they can just side those wires back together. Somebody could. But there was just no way to get it out. This is a terrible design by the Intimidator brand. Just looking from this side, this was the tip. And it was bigger than this because I cut off part of it. Look, that's the hole they wanted it to go through. And it just, I can barely get the head in on this side. And that's after I cut it down. So I just had to cut it. Hopefully we'll never need this again. Now my issue is how I'm gonna get the other one in there, because we can't cut that one. We will see. All right, well, Mr. I let it get dark, but we went to Lowe's. We just decided to get a drill bit and kind of widen this out. Plastic piece shouldn't be a problem. The metal in the back, I hope we can. They had these drill bits for $80 that would have done the job. I wasn't gonna spend $80 on it. Goodness. So we just got a regular drill bit. We're gonna pry up on it and see if that does the job. But, okay. Okay, this was way more trouble than we thought it would be. Plug and play just means run it, plug it, and play. But one of the issues we had, okay, when you ran these cords here through the steering wheel, one of them is a fuse and one of them is a relay. They say keep them where you can get to them. We zip tied them down, put some electrical tape, kept it out of the way of the steering column, and that should be fine. They should be fine. Yep. This here, where the horn goes, the thing that got me the most is there is something called, what is that screw?
Self-tap.
Self-tap screw. Self-tap screw. If I'm saying it right and if I got it right. I've never heard of it. When they were saying attach the attachment there to screw the horn in, there was no attachment. There was no hole. There was no opening. Like, how do you, that's steel right there. How do you attach it? But there is something called a self-tap screw. I've never heard of it. But it screws right into steel. It doesn't actually go through it, I don't guess. It just attaches. Never heard of it. It's a weird idea, but so they didn't send one of them with the 4-ways, with the blinkers. They didn't send them. They weren't in with the other screws. So we zip tied it And it was just gonna be a temporary till we could go get one of the pieces, but it is in there. She's got that so zip tied, so strong that we're gonna wait till it warms up a little. We're gonna take the zip ties off and put it back how it goes. But if for now, it's in there great. So the blinkers, the 4-ways, the horn is working. I'll demonstrate after a while. For now, we're still trying to get the hole opened in the back to get the turn signals to work in the back. I've got a 21 version. Evidently 20 and 21 versions, you have to replace that back tail light. The 22 and 23, you don't have to replace them. Evidently they realized what they did and they fixed them. So we're still working on it. When I get it done, it's just gonna be a simple attachment. We're just trying to open that hole. All right, after much work, much hard work, we finally got through there. We drilled the plastic, which wasn't so tough. No, you can't see on the inside. You can see if that helps. But we got through the metal also with a drill bit. Open it up and finally got it through there. So we'll hook it up. See, hopefully it's easy peasy from this point on. All right. All right, this is the connector piece we have to hook it to. So this piece here connects to that piece there, and we should have blinkers. So hopefully it'll hook on there and everything will be fine. So give us a second. I'll tell you, one thing after another, this design is terrible. The star screws that came out of the original tail light, which that's the original tail light, they don't fit the new one. And they didn't send any. Just like the screws that hook the horn up. They didn't send the right any screws. And now they didn't send the screws to hook this tail light up. Crazy. So we're gonna see what we can find, if we can make something work. But okay, still at it, still at it. All right, I finally think we got it. Again, this was the most troublesome part of it. The tail light, nothing worked right. We had to make everything work on our own. Even the screws that holds the thing together, they didn't send new screws, and the ones from the old one weren't the right size. But we went and got some and made it work. These red tips that supposed to go in there to cover the screws out, can't use them, but that's okay. So we got that in. We got the underneath secure, zip tied, connected. So it's time to try it out. 3 days of trouble for a play and play, but I think we got it. So let's give it a try. All right, YouTube, I think we finally got it. This should have been a 25-minute job. It turned into 3 days off and on because of that tail light issue. Everything that went wrong, could have went wrong, did go wrong. Even at the end when we thought we were done, the connector is not snug. We had to put tape around the connectors to make the tail light stay fastened. But we got it. Think we're ready, because we are ready to be done with this. So let's give it a quick test. Left side blinker, it's good. Left side in the back, good. Right side back, good. Right side front, good. Our hazard lights, good up front. Good in the back, and our horn. Hey, We got it. All right, this was fun. But I'm ready to be done. So, all right, till next time, YouTube.